What's up, guys? I hope you all are having a great day today, just full of so much positivity and happiness, dude, because today we are going to be talking about the Xbox 2024 Game Showcase and Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Direct. Now, I just finished streaming it, and I definitely have some thoughts, guys. So overall, I'll just get this out of the way. I thought the showcase was pretty decent. I don't think it was anything great, but I definitely don't think it was bad, and it was by far the best of the showcases this year. It blew PlayStation Showcase and the Summer Games Fest Showcase out of the water. Now, it's not really a high bar of praise, but, you know, credit where credit's due. Microsoft definitely delivered the best of the showcases this time around, which is usually the case to their credit. They're really the only company at this point that does like a traditional summer E3 style showcase anymore, so I do appreciate that fact, even if I don't necessarily enjoy all of the content that they put into their showcases. I like the fact that we still have like some semblance of an E3 press conference still remaining in the gaming industry, because I did genuinely used to enjoy watching those back in the day. So I do appreciate that Microsoft does put in the effort and puts on the show every single year, and overall I thought this was pretty good. I don't really think it was anything like groundbreaking or mind-blowing or anything like that. I think a lot of people were really overhyping this thing going into it, and I think it kind of suffered from the same problem that Microsoft has every single year, which is they show the same shit over and over again without showing you really anything new. It has way too many cinematic trailers, way too many games that don't have a release date, no real live gameplay demos or just gameplay at all. It's all cinematic sequences or cutscenes, and there were a few good surprises here, even though they did leak well before the showcase ever aired, which isn't really Microsoft's fault, so I'm not going to hold it against them, but overall, I thought it was pretty decent. It was nothing crazy. It's definitely not one of their better showcases, but I thought it was enjoyable for the most part. The pacing was good. It didn't really drag on. They didn't have a bunch of indie filler in there. There was a few games here and there that were kind of trash, but aside from that, I think it was a pretty decent showcase. But let's go ahead and go game by game through this thing and talk about what we just witnessed, guys, because there is a lot to unpack here. So they started off the showcase with Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which is kind of expected. You know, that's their big game for the year after buying Activision Blizzard, and honestly, there's not really much to say here. It's Call of Duty. If you're a Call of Duty fan, you're probably going to buy this game or at least try it on a Game Pass. I will probably renew my Game Pass subscription for the month and download it on PC for 10 bucks, play through the campaign, maybe give the multiplayer a shot before I inevitably drop it like every other Treyarch game in the past, because I don't really enjoy Treyarch Call of Duty. I think Black Ops 2 was really the last game that they put out that was genuinely good. I did not like Black Ops 3, 4, or Cold War, so I don't really have a huge interest in this game going into it. I'm much more of an Infinity Ward kind of guy when it comes to Call of Duty, and even with like Modern Warfare 3 last year, which was a complete fucking train wreck, which, I mean, to be fair, was more so developed by Sledgehammer. I mean, even that is not foolproof at this point, so yeah, I'll give this a shot in Game Pass, but I didn't really see anything here that blew me away at all. I do like the fact that it looks like a more fun-focused campaign versus the more cringy, serious tone that they've been trying to do with the Modern Warfare campaign, so I guess that's a nice tonal shift, but it's Call of Duty, man. I don't really have much to say. I think the setting's a good choice. I like that kind of recent past setting. I think Treyarch did their best work in Black Ops 1 during that setting, so I think that is kind of promising, so maybe I'll like it when I give it a try in Game Pass, but, you know, nothing really to say here. If you're a Call of Duty fan, you know what you're getting into. If you're not, you're probably not interested. So moving on from that, we got by far the most exciting announcement of the showcase, which was Doom, The Dark Ages, which is coming to Xbox, PC, and PlayStation 5. So Microsoft's first day-and-date release on PlayStation 5 since their new strategy, and the game looks good, man. I wish they would have spent more time on it. They spent like a minute on this game, which was absolutely crazy to me. This is like the one game I wanted to see more of, and it was like the game they showed the least of. It was kind of crazy. Like Fallout 76 DLC got more time on it than this game, but it looks good. My one concern is the shield, which looks like it's going to slow the combat down a lot, but other than that, man, it looks absolutely fantastic. The two previous Doom games have been top fucking tier, so I highly doubt this is going to be any different, and I'm genuinely looking forward to booting that up on day one, man. That is a definite W announcement, and like I said, the best game they showed this entire showcase. I wish we would have been able to see more of it, though. That's my biggest complaint with that. But moving on from that, we got State of Decay 3 showing a sign of life, and well, it was another cinematic trailer after 4 years since we last heard about it. So I'm guessing this game is in a really rough spot that they're not showing gameplay still after all this time. State of Decay 2 launched in an absolutely horrible state when it originally came out, no pun intended. But yeah, that's a little concerning that it's been so many years since they announced it and there's still no release date. There's still no gameplay, so I would not be getting too excited about that one. And personally, I'm not really a State of Decay fan anyway, but yeah, that was a little weird. Like, why are they still showing cinematics for this game when it's been 4 years since they previously showed it off? But after that, they moved into a cinematic trailer for Dragon Age the Veilguard. Don't care about this. It's literally a cinematic trailer. Zero fucking gameplay. They made it look like a hero shooter, someone in my chat pointed out. So yeah, slop, don't fucking care. So after that, they showed off Starfield DLC, and this does look better than the current Starfield experience, but bro, I don't think you could drag me back into playing that fucking game, man. I don't know. I am so done with Starfield. After my initial playthrough of it, I don't want to ever touch that game again, personally. The DLC looks fine. It looks like more Starfield. It looks like they actually added a densely populated planet for once, so I guess that's good, but yeah, I don't really have an interest in this whatsoever. Then they showed off the Fallout 76 expansion. Again, don't care about this in the slightest. I get they're trying to capitalize on the hype of the Fallout TV show, but I don't give a fuck about Fallout 76. The game is 6 years old at this point, and yeah, no interest in this whatsoever. I think it's funny, you know, all the people hyping up the rumors of a Fallout 3 remaster. That turned out to be completely fucking false. It's just another DLC for Fallout 76, which is coming in a week or so. After that, they showed off Expedition 33, which I have no idea what the fuck this was. It looked like a turn-based rhythm game, maybe. Like, really, it was just mainly a cinematic trailer with some very brief snippets of gameplay that didn't really give you a chance to see what the game was actually like. I mean, I guess it's fine. It's super stylized, but don't really have enough interest in that, or I guess information really at this point, to make any sort of conclusive statement whether I'm interested or not. But yeah, it was announced there. It's coming in 2025, and that's pretty much all we really know. Then they showed off Compulsion Games' title South of Midnight, which this game is written and directed by Sweet Baby Inc., so you already know it's going to be absolutely horrible. They have this garbage, like 10 FPS stop motion animation style to the game, which looks absolutely horrible. The music also in the background was absolute garbage, and the combat just looked really fucking bland in my opinion. So yeah, I already didn't have an interest in this game as soon as I heard that Sweet Baby Inc. was writing it, but after seeing the gameplay of it, which very little of it they actually showed other than cinematics, it does not look very good in my opinion, and I hate the animation style in this game with like a burning passion. So I understand it's an artistic choice, but I don't think it was the right one. So after that, they showed off the new World of Warcraft DLC. I don't play World of Warcraft, I never have, and I don't really have an interest in this. I could not tell you if this looked good, how it played into the story, or if you should even care about it, because I know absolutely nothing about World of Warcraft at this point. So it's coming August 26th if you are interested. The console version of the game, which was rumored to have been announced today, did not actually come to fruition. It is still only on PC. So if you're looking forward to maybe that prospect of being able to play World of Warcraft on console, that is not happening as of right now still. So after that, they moved on to Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, which, I mean, I guess it looks fine. I am not a Metal Gear fan by any stretch of the imagination, so again, I couldn't tell you whether or not this looks good for the game or not, but overall, graphically, it looked good. The gameplay looked fine, so that was kind of cool to see, I guess, more of. No real information on the release window for that either, so no clue when that's coming out, but I guess it's good to see more gameplay. It was one of the few games that actually showed gameplay at this event, so credit where credit's due. Then we got yet another Sea of Thieves expansion. It seems like every single year we are cursed with a Sea of Thieves segment, along with Fallout 76, Elder Scrolls Online, and now World of Warcraft seems to be joining that party. But yeah, a new Sea of Thieves expansion. Woohoo! Hooray! So exciting. But After that, they showed off Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, which looks like absolute fucking slop, bro. They've shown this off at a bunch of different press conferences recently in the past, and it just doesn't look good. It's a self-proclaimed Souls-light, so automatically I don't have any sort of interest in it whatsoever, but yeah, looked like absolute garbage if you ask me. Then after that, they showed off Age of Mythology Retold, which I think is a cool announcement for those who are interested in RTS games. Not really for me, but I can appreciate the fact that, you know, they're supporting that genre that obviously a lot of people are fans of, so I guess that was a good announcement. Then they showed off Perfect Dark Mewing Joanna Dark Edition, which, bro... her character model in this game is not flattering in the slightest, but the game looked fine. It looks super slow paced to me. I am not a fan of stealth games. They're not really for me. The only stealth game I really ever liked was Dishonored and Splinter Cell Blacklist, because I did not have to play those games in stealth. So if that's the case, maybe I'll enjoy it, but overall I wasn't really impressed by what I saw. But if you're a fan of first-person stealth games, I mean, I guess what they showed off looks good in that regard, but yeah, didn't really blow me away personally, but I don't really think it's a game that's meant for me in the first place, to be fair. Then they showed off Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred, which was a cinematic trailer, don't fucking care. Then we got another look at Fable, and still no release date, coming in 2025. More cinematics, bro. No gameplay. Still, we know nothing more about Fable other than there is a character named Humphrey in it now. That is literally it. They did not provide any sort of gameplay insight, no gameplay demo, no actual extended combat sequences. It is literally almost a copy-paste of the previous trailer that gives you no more information than we already knew going into it. So that was an absolute missed opportunity in my opinion, and very disappointing to say the least. So then we move on to Fragpunk, which looks like this shitty fucking Concord at home style game mixed with a mobile game. I don't fucking know, man. It's like Xbox saw PlayStation getting a bunch of shit for Concord. They're like, you know what? We need to find a first-person shooter that looks even fucking worse and even more generic, and we're putting that shit in our showcase, and that was Fragpunk. So, yeah, that's coming to Xbox and PC if anyone actually gives a fuck. I couldn't imagine why you would. After that was the indie slop titles, which was first Winter Burrow, which is a walking simulator where you play as a fucking mouse in, like, the Pentiment art style. I don't know, bro. Like, why this was chosen to be shown off, I don't understand. After that was a Life is Strange ripoff called Mixtape, which looks absolutely horrible and has that same shitty stop-motion animation style that South of Midnight had. So, yeah, zero interest in that whatsoever. I think it's pretty upsetting that Microsoft is wasting money on these type of games to pad Game Pass out, but I guess they're not very expensive because tens of people would have bought them in the first place. After that, they moved on to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, which I guess they're annualizing this series now, like FIFA. I don't fucking know. I don't really know why they just don't update the existing Flight Simulator, but yeah, if you're interested in that, I guess it's gonna have new content or whatever. I don't keep up to date with Flight Simulator. I don't really play simulation games in general, so couldn't tell you if that was good or bad, man. Then after that, we moved on to another live service expansion update, which is the Elder Scrolls Online Gold Road, which in the trailer, they literally say the game is 10 years old. I really don't enjoy seeing these like updates for their live service titles. I understand why they do it. It's for the shareholders and that type of shit, and to like maybe revitalize interest in the titles, but dude, the game's a decade old. I'm not watching a fucking showcase that's supposed to be filled with new announcements for decade-old titles at this point. I really dislike that about Microsoft's, you know, showcases. I mean, I'm glad they stopped doing Minecraft updates because those usually were absolutely miserable to sit through, but, you know, Elder Scrolls, Fallout 76, and Sea of Thieves have been recurring curses on their showcases that were ever present as usual this time around. Now, after that, they showed off Life is Tumblr Double Exposure from Square Enix. I love the Life is Strange games so much, guys. They're just so quirky and fun, and they're just always such a great time to play through. So, yeah, zero interest in this whatsoever. trailer. Absolute fucking L all around. Anything Life is Strange related, I want nothing to do with. After that, they showed off Indiana Jones, an extended cutscene, which, dude, why are we not showing gameplay for this? Like, I did not want to watch a 3-minute long cutscene for Indiana Jones that had a bunch of spoilers and shit in it. Like, why are you showing that? Show gameplay of the game. My guess is the gameplay is not impressive and they don't want to show off an extended version of it, or I don't get it, man. Like, why are you showing cinematics at your gaming conference? You can drop a trailer at any point like that. Show off actual gameplay. This game's supposed to be coming out this year. Still no release date on it, by the way, and we have not gotten extended gameplay for it in the slightest. So this was super disappointing and a very big missed opportunity in my opinion. Then they showed off Mecha Break, which was a game that was shown off at Summer Games Fest, and honestly it looks pretty good. Like, this game looks pretty fun. I would actually probably try it out, so I think that was actually a good game they showed off, so credit where credit's due. It's a third-party title, and I don't think it's coming to Game Pass either, but it does look pretty solid for what it is. Then after that, they showed off Wu Chang, which is coming in 2025, which is a Chinese Souls-like ripoff type game. I don't fucking know, man. Know absolutely nothing about it. I guess it looks fine. It's got an attractive female protagonist, so that's a win in today's modern gaming climate, but aside from that, I didn't see enough to be interested in it or really make a, I guess, definitive opinion on it whatsoever. Then they showed off Avowed, which was more cinematics, very little gameplay at all sprinkled into the trailer, and overall, just very disappointing. I think Avowed, I've really soured on the more I've seen it. It does not look very good in my opinion, and still no release date on that either, just 2024. So I have a feeling either Indiana Jones or Avowed is probably going to get delayed at this point, but I think they're trying to figure out which one they want to move around. So I guess we'll be waiting to figure that one out. Then they showed off a game from Rebellion called Atomfall, which is coming in 2025 to Game Pass, which it just looks like kind of a Far Cry-esque game with kind of a nuclear radiation supernatural element to it. Not really enough information for me to make a definitive opinion on, but I guess it looked fine for what it is. Not really my style of game personally, but, you know, it was something slightly different from pretty much everything else we get nowadays, so I guess that's cool. But yeah, not really anything of note there. We got another look at Assassin's Creed Shadows, dude. Woohoo! You know, can't wait to not play this one. Moving on from that. Next, we got Stalker 2 gameplay, which this game looks okay, man. I don't know. I just need to figure out if it's more survival-centric or more action-focused, because if it's an action shooter, I'll probably check it out, but if it's more of a survival game with, like, resource and ammo management, I think I'm gonna pass on it. I genuinely do not enjoy those type of games, personally. I like shooters to be power fantasies, so I think it looks cool. The setting looks interesting. The premise looks cool. It's something different from the majority of games we get nowadays, so I think that's nice, but yeah, I just need a little bit more information, but overall what they showed, I think the gameplay looked good. The shooting mechanics, not the best. I don't really like how recoil heavy the guns looked, but overall I think what they showed was good, and a lot of people in my chat were very excited about that, so I'm guessing that was a highlight for a lot of people. So then we get into a very interesting portion of the conference here. Sarah Bond came out and announced the new Xbox hardware lineup, which is the 1TB Xbox Series S, which retails for $350. Keep in mind, you can get a Series X right now for $400 across the United States. Then the all-digital Xbox Series X, which is releasing with 1TB of storage for $450. Now, keep in mind, you can get a normal Series X for $400 right now with the fucking disc drive. So if you want to save $50, go ahead and buy the console now, which is absolutely fucking mind-blowing to me. And then on top of that, they announced a $599 special edition Xbox Series X Galaxy version with 2TB of storage. $600 fucking dollars for an Xbox Series X, man. I bought my, like, second Series X in my current console. I sold my other one, but I bought my most recent Series X for $350 brand new with Diablo 4 bundled up on Black Friday. and they are charging $600 for a Series X with 2 terabytes of storage in 2024. And on top of that, the digital Series X cost $450, which is $50 more than the Series X costs right now in pretty much every single retailer across the United States. I do not understand what the fuck they were smoking when they came up with the pricing structure for these new consoles, bro. Like, that is absolutely fucking insane. A 1 terabyte all digital Xbox Series S, $350. For an extra $50, you can get the Xbox Series X right now with a disc drive for $400. Like, who in their fucking right mind is gonna buy these new consoles? Like, that is absolutely insane to me, bro. Like, I don't fucking get it. We're at the point in the generation where things should be getting cheaper at the very least. We're now facing a scenario where they're getting even more expensive, which is absolutely fucking mind-blowing. And for all the people that were hoping they were gonna announce an Xbox handheld because, you know, Sarah Bond was teasing the future of Xbox hardware to be announced this summer. Well, the future of Xbox hardware is essentially a price increase and more of the fucking same. So that absolutely sucks. I would have actually liked an Xbox handheld if it came in at like the $400 to $500 price point. I definitely would have picked one of those up, but that is not the case, it appears, and we're just getting more of the same and more expensive variants of the Series X. It's basically getting a price increase essentially, which is pretty wild to think about. But yeah, not really great news in my opinion on the hardware side of things. So for the final announcement of the show, they showed off Gears of War E-Day, which I thought this was a massive W for Xbox, and I am so glad after the abomination that was Gears of War 5 that they decided to fucking ditch that storyline and actually make Gears of War, dude. You know, God forbid. I never understood why they decided to make Disney Star Wars in Gears of War format, which if you look at the storyline of Gears of War 4 and 5, they are almost identical to Disney Star Wars if you look at it from a plot analysis perspective. But, you know, thank God they're ditching that dog shit fucking sequel storyline, man. And they're going back to the original era of Gears of War with a prequel, which takes place on E-Day, which I think is a big W. And honestly, I think this was the right decision. Now, we didn't get any sort of gameplay whatsoever. There wasn't even a release year announced, which is really disappointing. So probably my guess is 2026, maybe 2027 if you look at Xbox's development cycles. But yeah, I mean, at least we know we're not going to be cursed with Gears of War 6 Kate Edition. So thank God we're actually going to be hopefully getting a real Gears of War game at this time instead of shitty open world simulator where you build a rocket for 60% of the fucking story. So I think this is definitely the right move. This is the move I think they should have made with the franchise when they originally got it from Epic. The prequel direction was definitely the right way to go because the story of Gears of War ended with 3. Even Epic Games, when they had People Can Fly make Gears Judgment, knew better than to make a sequel to that series. So it's another case of a franchise that should have ended with 3, and it looks like Microsoft is retconning 4 and 5 storyline because they were just that bad. So I think that is definitely the right decision, and I'm glad to see them moving in that direction. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with it, and while I would have loved a Gears of War collection because I would love for those games to be revitalized, I guess this is the next best thing, and maybe, just maybe, Microsoft will decide to port Gears of War 2 and 3 to PC and maybe revitalize those multiplayers because, you know, I miss being able to hop on Gears of War and play the multiplayer because Gears 5's multiplayer is basically dead aside from like the super sweats that are like borderline pro players, so you can't really have casual fun on Gears of War multiplayer. So that's why I was kind of hoping for the Gears collection to come out to not only revitalize interest in the franchise, but also to revive the multiplayer experience so you can actually just have some good casual fun without dedicating your entire existence to basically becoming a semi-pro player. But yeah, I think this was a great announcement to end the show. I am so glad that Gears of War 6 is not a fucking thing, and yeah, I think this was a great announcement to close everything off at. Now, they did go into the details of Black Ops 6 after that, but I didn't really pay attention at that point because, again, it's Call of Duty. You know what you're getting at this point. If you're interested in COD, you're going to check it out, and you're probably either going to love it or hate it, and nowhere in between. But anyway, guys, that is everything for the Xbox showcase that they announced or showed off. I think overall it was decent. Like I said, I don't think it was great. I don't think it was even really good, but it definitely wasn't bad. It was just like okay. I don't think there was anything really overwhelmingly negative to drill home on, other than the fact that, again, no release dates on most of the stuff that's supposed to be coming out this year. Again, heavy reliance on cinematics and cutscenes versus actual gameplay. And then on top of that, not really anything new. Again, a lot of repeat titles here with no real new information to even get you interested in them. But anyway, guys, let me know what you thought about this showcase in the comments section below. Did you think overall it was a Microsoft L, a Microsoft W? Give me your rating out of 10. I would say overall this was a W, and I'd probably give it like a 5 out of 10 in all honesty. And just for reference, Summer Games Fest, 1 out of 10, and the PlayStation Showcase, a probably 2 out of 10. So there you guys go. That is my official showcase ratings for 2024. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Make sure to drop a like on the video if you did enjoy, and if you made it to the end, I greatly appreciate it. And as always, I do really appreciate everybody taking the time out of their day to check out this video, and for all the recent support as well. You guys are the fucking best, and I will catch you guys next time.